Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, May 17th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, FFIE, and the monster move continues. Been tracking this one very closely. Had the bull pennant going into today. And once again, third bull pennant in a row. Let me actually just draw this up so you can get a little bit more context. So I'll do this very crudely, but there was our first bull pennant, broke to the upside. There was our second bull pennant, broke to the upside. And then the bull pennant from yesterday broke to the upside. So, I mean, just one bull pennant after another being broken. So overall, the trend, needless to say, remains in the bull's favor. And let's zoom in here so we can keep a closer eye on things. So in terms of key areas of resistance, first level, nothing fancy in terms of logic other than just really essentially where did the price and where did the party finally stop today? And that was, for argument's sake, I'm going to call it right up there at $2.15. Now, if you want to call it oh, wait, I take that back. Oh, wow, that is quite the difference. This thing was really moving today. All right, I'm glad I checked that. So 235, I thought that was just going to be a couple pennies, not 20 cents. So, yeah, key battleground going to be right up there at 235 moving forward. Wow, really just shows how powerful a move this one's been when that small little distance on the chart equated to 20 cents on a sub $3 stock. But anyways, so 235 going to be that main area from a resistance standpoint. In terms of levels of support, the ideal level, when you say, Clay, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? And that would be if the price can continue to hold above that area of support right there. With that being said, don't get me wrong, if the price falls below there, does not mean the entire chart's destroyed or ruined, because from the big picture point of view, you have that purple line there, 50-period moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher. So it's basically serving as a trend line for you. So as long as the price stays above the quote-unquote trend line from the big picture point of view, that does imply the overall trend is still in the bull's favor. Next one, CRKN. What a huge mover today. Huge volume. Needless to say, a lot of eyeballs going to be watching this one moving forward. In terms of levels of resistance, same general idea. Ask yourself the question, where did the party stop today? That was essentially up there at 0.472. You can see right there, price did get slightly above it, but you had, the close right there, and then you had the high of that next candle right there. So I'm calling 0.472 main area of resistance. Now, with that being said, if the price can curl back upwards and get a keyword here being high volume break. So a high volume break of that level, there are no guarantees, but you got to like the odds that it not only goes up to that high right there and potentially breaks up through it, but again, it's got to be a high volume break of 0.472. In terms of levels of support and where the buyers are hanging out, that pullback right there, you can see the price got down around that area several times at 15 cents. You can see right there, didn't quite hit it. But again, generally speaking, right there at 15 cents, going to be that main area of support from a pullback standpoint. But anyway, look at it, monster volume, very nice price movement. So we'll see if this can try to curl back upwards on Friday. Next one, AMC, and rough day today, not necessarily because it was red, but because from a technical point of view, which I talked about in yesterday's video, the price has now broken down below that purple line, and it's now begun to act as resistance, which is just basic technical analysis. When levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance, and you can see that right there. Price gap down below it, try to get back above it, was rejected, and is now kind of slowly bled downwards. Now, on the good news front, at least it wasn't this sort of pullback today. This one was just kind of slow and steady, not really a pullback, more so sideways action, but nonetheless, it still did break down through that purple line there. So again, that'll be the main area of resistance if there is any sort of attempted move back upwards. As far as must-hold levels and next levels of support, that is where this pink line comes into play. Very well known, the very famous 200-period moving average. So I'm not saying this will occur, but if the price were to go down there and break below there, that's pretty much the nail in the coffin, because that would essentially mean that the price made a huge move and is now basically gone right back to where it started, which was back in this area of the chart right there. But like I said, still got wiggle room before that level even gets tested, but I would definitely consider the 200-period moving average a must-hold level of support. Next one, GWAV. Talked about this in yesterday's video and got an absolutely huge explosion up through there today. So nonetheless, just going to start over again and start fresh. So sort of like the other ones that we've talked about, let's start with that area of resistance. Again, generally speaking, right up there at 0.211. I realize the price did go up above it. But as I talked about, if the price can curl back upwards and get the high volume break, again, got to be high volume, something like that, good solid high volume break, then you got to like the odds that at minimum goes up to retest those highs if not even goes higher than that. In terms of areas of support, the level that stands out to me from a trend line standpoint, and I think a lot of people have done this. I think a lot of people have connected those two lines, and I emphasize a lot of people because when a lot of people have done the same thing or are watching the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some nice movement. So if the price were to go down there, is it totally irrational to think that that in and of itself could create a bounce? Like I said, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, not at all, just because you got to think a lot of people have drawn that trend line. But like I said, big movement today, big volume. So we'll see if this thing can once again curl back upwards and push up into, who knows, maybe the mid-20s, if not 30s. Next one, ASTS. Very nice mover today, like a lot of these other ones. And let's map out a couple levels. So first key level resistance, just where did the party stop today? And finally, it stopped going up right up there at the 417 mark. So that'll be the main level right there. As far as levels of support, the ideal level, again, ideal meaning, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute healthiest moving forward? That would be if the price could stay up there above 355. But again, if the price falls below there, it does not mean the entire chart's destroyed or anything like that, because from the big picture point of view, you have the purple line there, 50 period moving average. So as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So keep an eye on that from the overarching standpoint. But yes, preferably speaking, staying above 355 would be a very impressive sign of strength. But a lot of volume, nice strong upwards movement. So we'll see how this one closes out the week on Friday. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to manage risk and build consistency, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use to sign up. Now, one special note, it is a genuine live event. So a couple things, maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening and you can't make it live, or maybe you're just watching this Friday morning and you totally missed it. Go ahead, send me an email, clay@claychart.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up, and hopefully I'll be seeing you here in just a few hours. Next one, PEGY, and another one of these penny stock movers that had a ton of volume today and some very nice, well-defined levels. So in terms of well-defined levels on the support side of thing, 0.126, you can see a couple times price came down around that area, both during the opening 30 minutes and then later on during this pretty nasty pullback this afternoon. But crazy, nasty pullback, and look right where it decided to bounce from, right at that area of support. So again, I'll turn that into a quick plug. Go get signed up for that free training because charts really are a great tool. So 0.126, main area of support, and then main area of resistance. Going to call right here at the 17-cent mark. Again, trying to find a middle ground because a couple times here, didn't quite hit it, basically hit it, went above it, and then right at it. So again, just trying to find that middle ground of where the sellers seem to be hanging out. And in this situation, that seems to be very clear right there at that 17-cent mark. But all things considered, good, solid volume, nice price movement. So we'll see if the momentum can pick back up on Friday and push up through that 17-cent mark. Next one, LSDI, good, solid technical pattern here. So let's just get this in a play. So there we go. Top part of the pattern right here at that level. And then as far as the support is concerned, you have a very well-defined level right across the bottom there. Change that to green to represent support, and then make the pattern easier to see. Let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right here. For you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual. Put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So as I've said, there are no guarantees, but is it plausible? Is it realistic to think that if the price were to come up here and push up through the top part of that pattern, that break in of itself would create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible solution and plausible outcome of any sort of break to that area right there. So if you like stocks down below $5, you like bull pennants, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video. But if you did, then hopefully remember me putting that red line in there, talking about 175.50 as the main area of resistance. And once again, not to pat myself on the back, but to pat charts on the back. They're a tool that are very valid because wouldn't you know it, look right where the price struggled. Right there, essentially rejected. Right there, immediately rejected. And then even right now, slightly below that area. But that all makes sense and why the price is struggling right up around the 175.50 mark, because that is suggesting it to be an area of resistance. So nothing has changed in that regard. Still keep a close eye on 175.50. If the price can break up through there, the next key immediate level you would want to start to pay attention to is that pink line up there, the 200 period moving average. But one hurdle at a time, that first key hurdle, again at 175.50. In terms of levels of support, I should note that very impressive recovery when you consider that at one point the price was all the way down here, but now it's worked its way all the way up there. Good solid bounce, nice recovery there by the bulls. As far as supports are concerned, main level to watch moving forward, if there is any sort of rollover back, is going to be right there around that 173 mark. So keep a close eye on that. But as of right now, given the price is much closer to potentially breaking up through 175.50, that certainly makes it the most interesting level. Next one, GME, and the bleeding on this one continues as it maintains the pullback here. So just going to get rid of that. And really, in my mind, the next very, very important level of support, and we'll see if it can make it through there, is this first level here at 27.20. Reason for that is if you go back through the history of things, that was essentially the bottom part of this consolidation before it got that big move up. And it's getting very close. Now, in the event that level can't quite hold up, then the next level, like AMC, that becomes, in my opinion, a must-hold level, is that pink line down there, that 200 period moving average. Again, you don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, one step at a time. So let's see if this price can hold above the green line right there. But if that doesn't hold, then in some senses, the price just essentially enters into a no man's land on the chart. And you can see just right here, nothing until really that gap close location down there, which also, coincides pretty closely to that 200 period moving average. But no doubt about it, the bleeding continues. If the price does try to recover back upwards, main area of resistance is going to be that purple line there, 50 period moving average. Next one, TQQQ. Overall, good day. Yes, it pulled back, but it's not like the price crashed or anything like that. And for those of you that watched the previous videos, hopefully remember me talking about that red line up there as the key area of resistance at 64. And it was not exact, but certainly you can see quite a bit of congestion right around that area. So whenever the price got up around $64 mark, it was just, the momentum essentially continued to just disappear and not really, be able to maintain itself. Now, in the very near term, though, because again, like I said, right here, not so good today. But if you look at it from more of a bigger picture standpoint and you factor in what was going on before the pullback, you have that action. And what I've just drawn there is a bull flag pattern. Now, just because it's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going upwards. But my point here is that looking at one day in isolation and saying, uh-oh, everything's ruined because of this pullback. Well, no, just look at a couple of days more and you can see good, solid bull flag pattern. So that is how I would best classify TQQQ right now, just a bull flag on the 30-minute. Now, I will get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, go get signed up for the free webinar. It'll be, like I said, this evening, Thursday, May 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to have a great time. I'll have live question and answers, all that sort of good stuff. But if you can't make it live, like I said, clay@claytrader.com. Send me an email. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick disclosure here. We are no longer looking at the 30-minute time frame. We're using the 4-hour time frame. I mean, each of these now represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. And I like to do that because Bitcoin is open 24/7. So that'll keep this analysis here relevant for as long as possible. So Bitcoin finally decided to pull back here a little bit. No major red flags or anything like that. So I just want to walk you through some questions. And based on how you answer those questions, that'll keep this relevant for as long as possible. So question number one, you need to ask yourself. So let's just say you're watching this video 15 hours after I upload it. Where is the price at relative to 63,500? As long as you're answering the price or the question that the price is up above that level, then as far as I'm concerned, there's no worries at all. Because even though, let's say the price was pulled back and is, sitting down around that area, what is that giving you? Well, at that point, that would still just be giving you what we just saw. You'd just be able to say, okay, well, Bitcoin's in a bull flag pattern right now. So like I said, as long as it's above 63,500, I see no red flags at all. Now, if you're answering the question that the price is down below that level, then that's where some red flags begin to come into play a little bit. And I do want to add in this trend line right here, because I think this will be important and come into play over the history of the chart now. So let's just change that to green and make the style a little bit different. Now, if you're answering the question that the price is also down below there, that's telling you that the bears have stepped up in a very big way. I'd be shocked if you're answering it that way. But nonetheless, I'd keep an eye on those couple levels. Let me just get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. Now, maybe you're saying, Clay, well, the price is above 63,500. The next question could also then be, okay, well, where is it at relative to 67,280? If you're answering the question that the price is up above there, that would just be telling you that Bitcoin has made a very, very impressive move and that this little pattern here has recovered, broken out, come up there, broken out. How good of a move? Well, how far above that red line is it? The further up above, just the more powerful of a breakout it actually is. But like I said, really, in my opinion, as long as the price is above 63,500, then you, like I said, at worst case, have a bull flag, bull pennant pattern. And just as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a crypto and Bitcoin trader, because what you learn about in the webinar definitely can and should be used within your trading as crypto and Bitcoin. So like I said, it'll be this evening, Thursday, May 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you can't make it live for whatever reason, go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com. It's going to be a great time. Like I said, I'll answer questions. We'll have all that sort of good stuff. So definitely be sure, and I'll be sure to prove that it is live when you show up. So thanks for hanging out. If you enjoy these top 10 videos, hit that like button, leave a comment below. Leave me a request if you would like for me to take a look at a chart. Put that down in the comment section also. So thanks for hanging out. Go get signed up for that webinar. But if you can't make it live, go ahead, send me an email.